Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I'm very pleased and very honored to be partnering with Plataforma to present to you a profoundly important and interesting discussion and public debate this evening. My name is Simon Willis. I'm Chief Executive of the Young Foundation. And the Young Foundation has spent, in one format or another, the last 60 years exploring the whole area of social innovation, social entrepreneurship, and trying to find new and creative and innovative ways to tackle social problems with a particular focus on the causes of inequality. It's, for me, a huge pleasure always to be in Portugal, to be in Lisbon. I've been here many times, but it is a pleasure which is bittersweet, because the main reason why I've spent so much time in Portugal was that I had the great honor of having a colleague called Diogo Vasconcelos, who many of you may have bumped into or known. He seemed to know just about everybody in Portugal, actually, in one way or another. And I know he was a great friend of yours. And he tragically died a few years ago. But I remain, in this work that we do, constantly inspired by his approach. Not only his approach to Portugal, in which he had a profound, passionate belief in the potential for Portugal to be transformed and to be a source of great creativity and exploration, but also in his general approach to entrepreneurship, to innovation, and to life in general. We came from very different political perspectives, but he had an extraordinary ability to bridge every kind of division between people, whether political or cultural, or age, or nationality or language. And most of all, he was unstoppably optimistic and believed that almost anything was possible if good people got together and pursued it. And that informs, I think, that is the spirit which I would like to inform this evening's debate with. So we are in very difficult times. And in many ways and in many cases, they're getting more difficult. We have perhaps one of the most worrying things, certainly in my country, in the United Kingdom. A situation has developed where the institutions of society, of government, the churches, the banks, the media, in particular the newspapers, many companies, the police, are increasingly distrusted by people. And people feel, ordinary people feel alienated from the key institutions of society. They feel increasingly that there are small elites who are working only in their own interests and not in the general interest of society. And not without reason do they feel this. In my country, as in yours, for a long time now, society has been becoming more and more unequal. My children are 500 times more likely to get into a good university and get into a good job afterwards than children who live 500 yards down the street from me. And I don't believe that my children are 500 times better, and nor do the people who live down the street from me. And yet, in our education system in the UK, children enter unequal and they come out the other end much more unequal. And this has been going on, regardless of whichever political party is in power, for many years, this trend. And it's frustrating and challenging because all the political parties agree that education should be an equalizer. They want to see it as a place, as a crucible of equality of opportunity. But for some reason it doesn't translate. And so we see problems like this again and again, difficult, complex, wicked social problems emerging. The troubling thing is that it's tempting in these sorts of times for people to blame the victims, to blame the poor, to blame the disabled, to blame the immigrants, to find somebody to blame other than the people who actually caused the problems that we're in. And we have to tackle this problem in a new way, in a fresh way and a creative way. It means challenging some of the orthodoxies, challenging some of the incumbents, particularly in the area which you're most passionate about, on the environment and climate change. Until we unsettle and challenge some of these incumbencies, we're not going to see real change. And to do that, we need to engage at the grassroots level, at the community level, and allow people to be empowered to create new solutions to their problems and to design and build new and better social outcomes. And I think that's at the heart of the conversation that we're having here this evening. Portugal has many things going for it, not least the fact that when I got up in London this morning, it was 2 degrees, and so I put on my warmest suit, which I now regret deeply. But also you have, I think, a conversation starting here and some opportunities to create a new social economy and a new civic economy and actually to be a leader in this field and to show other European countries what is possible. The creation of the €150 million fund is a fantastic first starting point. The work that Maria has been doing latterly at the Social Innovation Bank, and I know she's going to continue with her passionate pursuit of those themes, and we'll hear more from her this evening, creates the bottom-up half of what needs to be done. We are deeply honoured to be in the conversation with you. If nothing else, we'd love to tell you all the things that we did wrong in the UK, because we did many, so that you can go faster and go further and do it more intelligently than we've done. And we've done some things right that you can benefit from as well, but we'd like to be partner to you in this process and to do what we can to enrich the conversation. It's a very great privilege. Maria, I'm going to challenge you to take up the spirit of Diogo Vasconcelos. You're a natural, unstoppable force. You're a movement builder, and I woe betide anybody who gets in your way. And I very much look forward to hearing what you and the very esteemed panel of speakers that we have here this evening have to say. It really is quite a rich array of talents and skills that you have, and it's a pleasure for me to welcome you to this evening's conversation.